most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
Jack to the test!
Hi there guys, welcome into a brand new session. Had a little bit of a social media summer break myself, okay, from creating the video content and the live sessions, but bringing those back for you now, okay? So hit notifications and I will keep everyone updated. But yeah, keeping everyone up to date on the tweet feed, so give us a follow on Twitter and we'll go over these in a second as we look at the Bitcoin price action today as we hit a little bit of an expansion out of this range, okay? But yeah, keeping everyone up to date on WAP, free section on WAP as well. Been trying to keep the post up to date on YouTube. Give us a follow and hit notifications on YouTube. We've got lots of free alpha in here, and as you can see, we produce those live sessions as well. And in the trader, TRDR.io private Discord as well, okay? So posting a lot more of my positions and stuff in there as well, okay? Long still in from last week on a few assets. So join us in there. That's part of the TRDR.io, links below, Art of Data Driven Market Academy course, okay? A little bit more insight into how I trade, okay? I'm a little bit more active in here because those guys follow and understand the way I trade, so I don't mind posting positions and stuff for those guys in there, okay? So yeah, back to it, I guess, back to it. I hope everyone's been enjoying the summer. Okay, I do have to say, you know, in my 9 years of trading, this is one of the most perfect and active, technically active trading summers I've ever known. Really, really brilliant. So I hope everyone is embracing it and extracting as much as they can out the market, okay? You know, not a lot to do with your spot positions here, really. We have been trending in regards to Bitcoin. I know some alts are still battling some lows, but Bitcoin is trending up. I think you need to leave it alone for now. Okay, we'll have a look at the supply, what supply is coming in, and we'll have a look at some technical levels with you in trading view as well, okay? But yeah, I think we've given some, if anyone's certainly been following since the beginning of April and beyond, actually, we've given some good guidance in the channel and on social media with regards to just attacking the all-time highs, okay? So yeah, last week, as we did drop, shorts very valid, few weeks ago, okay? I think there was some nice short positions on altcoins as well, so keep it dynamic, okay, if you're trading those perpetuals, if you're a sharp shooting perpetuals trader. But last week, Monday, just to have a little review where we've come from and where we are potentially going, okay? So Monday madness last week, expecting some Bitcoin chop prior to a range reclaim, then expansion up and continuation of trend, okay? And then a little bit of info and a few charts to follow on as we go, okay? Sunday service yesterday, what did we get? We actually got that move up, okay, from the previous couple of days, okay? A little bit of spot bid. We actually had some group spot bid down here. We got the bounce, and what I mentioned to some of the guys in the Discord channel was I don't expect to see massive amounts of bid down here because everyone's in from lower, okay? But what you can get is when open interest has nuked in these areas and you've just got lack of selling, it's easy to float price up, and that's kind of what I was expecting, okay? Bid chasing up quite dynamic into the Sunday session. So I actually added to longs on Bitcoin yesterday as well. So very, very nice to see it, okay? And then this morning, Monday Espresso Bitcoin overview. I do tend to post a little bit early. I think this was about 6:30 this morning, okay? We're just coming up to a little bit of resistance now, okay? Technical resistance at this 123k level. And I think the main bulk of supply is actually a little bit higher at 125, okay? So not an area to start chasing green dildos up here, I would say. If you can get pullbacks, that's where you want to do some business, obviously for better risk reward, okay? But it's nice to see that dynamic bid chasing up, okay? So value area of the low range there as we reclaim it held, okay? We move up to the point of control of the range point of control holds, we move up, we get a weekly open, and the Asian session last night, absolute blast off. So what I think we need to do, obviously, is have a look at a top down chart, weekly, daily, 4 hour and beyond, okay, in trading view, and then we'll dive into the TRDR console and have a look at some order flow. Let's do that with you now. Here we go then, guys. Just want to show you some nice clean technical levels within trading view, really. If you know me and how I trade, I tend to look at higher time frame charts with the Bitcoin price action, then zoom into lower time frame 5 and 15 minute charts in the order flow just for entering the like. But really for me personally, 4-hour charts, it really gives you a nice picture of the trend and the range. As we can see, all we've been doing is range, trend, and then straight back to the range now. Okay, straight back to the range now, and here we go. So last week down here, little bit of chop to be expected. Okay, you're going to get that in these deviations, and then what we wanted to see is the move back up into the range. Okay, hold the range lows, move to POC, hold the POC, add some longs, thank you very much, and up we go. Okay, so now is not the time. I think now, you know, you could potentially, just looking at this 4-hour chart, you've got your resistance, 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 resistance. You could potentially even get some violence right back down into this 120, 119k region. Okay, so let Monday play out. I would say let Monday play out. If you're in nothing here already, okay. If Bitcoin just proceeds to hold here, you know, you're very comfortable in longs from lower. Okay, very, very comfortable in longs from lower. 116, 114, 112. If you're an absolute sniper down here in the 112 zone, really, really well done. Okay, weekly chart. So let's have a look top down, as we call it. So that weekly chart is actually looking very, very, very nice. In the Discord, yeah, a few weeks ago, I did actually say that at this point on the 7th of July, I said this could mark a point and we could get a little bit of a downturn now. Okay, I did point that out in the private Discord. We got that, we got those pullbacks, and then we've got a couple of nice weekly levels there, and we expand up. If anyone's keeping an eye on the on-chain data, okay, on the on-chain data, we've still got absolutely no reason, okay, to get too bearish here. We are trending, and you know, we continue to range. Okay, so levels we are looking at now, we do have an absolutely solid base now. If you just have a look here, I'm just going to move that one up. You've got an absolute solid, look at that solid weekly base there at that 119 region. So even if you come back to that 119 region, I would have a look to see if that holds in the order flow. Do you get some bid there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, really, really solid base. So that'd be nice if we can just at least hold that zone. Okay, but yeah, weekly chart looking very good. If further expansion up, yeah, maybe, you know, if you've done well with the longs from last week, I'm not seeing a reason to close yet. Maybe you can take partial profits on the way up. Daily chart, range, trend, range, trend, range, shallower range, as you can see here, shallower range, down, deviation down, and we're up. Okay, and we're going to see this obvious resistance now. Okay, nice fib time marking the lows of that deviation down there. Okay, we're going to see this obvious resistance now from that wick space there in this 123k region, okay, on the daily chart, but it still looks good. Trend is intact. Okay, don't get too excited and too bearish up here. Lower time frame pullbacks expected in this region, but yeah, if you're in from lower, hold tight. Okay, 4-hour chart, we can just see we're pulling down now. We haven't even actually tapped that 123k region yet. All right, so you know, I think that's going to be immediate resistance, and we will see that in the order flow as well. What I am going to point out is when we look at the order flow in the trader TRDR.io console, 125 is going to be a key area to watch, I would say. So with that being said, let's dive into that now, shall we?
Well, in my book, you either do it right or you get eliminated.
Trader console then, TRDR.io console, guys. If you're not trading with this data, what the hell are you doing? So I'm just in the multiverse view at the minute, because I'm keeping an eye on Ethereum, obviously. Ethereum, it tends to be a little bit of a barometer for the altcoins. Same with Solana as well, doesn't it? Hype doing hyperliquid things, absolute fire and forget longs from the weekend, I would say, if anyone's playing that. And high lows, high highs all the way. Very, very nice. Expect some volatility here. Yeah, you'd want to see this bid follow up and cap price and support it for further expansion up. Right, okay, as we look at Bitcoin here, let's just zoom in a little bit. As we look at Bitcoin here, okay, so this was the bid defending price over the weekend. Really, really nice to see it, okay. Expansion up, there's your range POC. We hold the range POC on a Sunday, okay. Sunday trading, a lot of people would argue that it's absolutely invalid because traditional finance isn't involved and this, that, and the other. I would say that's absolute bollocks. And if there's a bid there, then there's a bid there and you take the trade, okay? We smashed the supply at 119, 120, and there we go. We can just see that supply coming in at the 123 region, okay? But this is what I'm talking about. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been saying that 125 is going to be a nice key area now. I actually thought we would have hit that area a couple of weeks ago, but as Bitcoin does, and a lot of large cap assets do, they range for 90% of their life, don't they? Okay, so when you start to enter these ranges, you've just got to play it for what it is. You've got to hit those value area lows, get that bid, and play that trade. But let's have a look at what the other exchanges are doing in a full window in the trader console. Okay, so here we go. So let me just go to Bitcoin. Yes, I was keeping an eye on the king of the memes, Pepe, there. Okay, so we've still got a little bit of depth in the book here. Open interest is coming down for this European session. Not expecting too many moves right here, right now in this European session, as always. You know, it tends to be a little bit low volume, but yeah, nice push up. You can see there the 125. It's not that far away, is it? It's really a cat's cock hair away to hold your longs. You know, yeah, a little bit of a move down. Maybe we hit that 119 where we've got that weekly level. Okay, strong weekly level, weekly up and down here as well. Okay, but yeah, I want to see a reaction at this 125. Really, I don't think there's any reason to close Bitcoin longs whatsoever. You can just see altcoins suffering a little bit. Maybe dominance is rising a little bit as the day progresses. You know, any tiny move in Bitcoin up here as it's, you know, attempting to hit price discovery again. Altcoins, generally, they're not going to like it. Okay, so if you're trading perps, if you're trading with any leverage, just lower the leverage on the altcoins. For me personally, I shared with the guys earlier, you know, I added to Bitcoin yesterday, not much else on with regards to derivatives trades. Okay, I'll have a look in the next 24-40 hours at the altcoins and see what we've got. But yeah, Binance, okay, 125. Let's have a look at the big boys. Coinbase Pro, what have they got? They're defending 125 as well. They've got a little bit of selling here, but we are still a certain percentage away, and they've got a little bit of a bid under there. Okay, moving bid up to 118.4 there as well. So yeah, I'd like to see, maybe we can come down first here, but I'd like to definitely just attack this level, attack these bears up here and see what they have got to offer. Okay, next one I'm going to show you, okay, is Binance Pep. So we do have a couple of new exchanges in here as well. Okay, so the lads added BitGet, and we do have Hyperliquid as well data in here also. Okay, for me personally, I'm not seeing any edge in those exchanges just yet, so I'm still sticking to Binance, Coinbase Pro. I do like Coinbase Pro, okay, and Binance Perps, the absolute kingmakers of the market. Okay, maybe it's a case that the data gets better on some of those exchanges, okay, and we start to add it in. Maybe we add it to our alerts and such, but right here, right now, I'm just sticking to what I know to be good, solid data, and that's going to be Binance, isn't it? If you're unfamiliar as well, we don't have all the data for Bybit. Why not? Because the cheeky fuckers do not share it with us. Okay, so let's crack on. Binance Perps, absolute solid base yesterday on a Sunday, and I do have to say, if you are, let me just go to a 15-minute, I'll show you it there. If you are looking at this, okay, on large assets, I've said it time and time again, and you see this in the perps market, okay, on Ethereum, on Hyperliquid, some of those bigger trading assets, you know, even Litecoin, Solana. If you see this kind of price action, okay, and your open interest is coming down, it's an absolute fire and forget trade. Whether you're just scalping, okay, whether you're adding to longs like I did yesterday, absolute fire and forget trades. Okay, so nice solid base still here on perpetuals market, just under 18k there. Okay, let's have a look at what volume's doing today. I don't think there'll be much edge in volume really. Yeah, it's just kind of following price action. We've got an obvious rise in open interest here, and you're gonna get that at these levels as we push out the market. Okay, but what was happening yesterday's price rose up, retail traders in red here, 10k and under order sizes going short, okay, and that kept our funding down as well, and funding's still quite chilled right here, right now, so good to see. Another chart I just want to show you quickly is Liquidity King, okay, so on the Liquidity King, let me just go to that 4-hour time frame. As we saw, okay, this range play out and then the deviation down of that range, we did come from really high liquidity. Go check out in the playlist the Liquidity King video if you're unfamiliar with this, okay, but yeah, we've set in some new parameters on the Liquidity King template. Okay, so what we're up to on the top side on perps, 3.5, 3.6 billion. Okay, on the spot market, 2 billion is your top top parameter on the spot market at the minute. Okay, Open interest nuke. Okay, yes, we've got an RSI metric on this. Okay, so as we deviate down into the lows in that, you could call it a kind of double bottom, can't you? Look at that open interest nuke. Okay, we had an absolute tickle of negative funding. Spot market is coming down to this medium term line, I would say. Okay, 1.25 billion, and the perps is getting reset as well at 2.5 billion. Okay, so shared this in the socials the other day. Go grab it out of there. But yeah, everything's looking good. We're not overheated just yet. Of course, the open interest is rising. You could easily get a nice little flush in the next 24 hours on the open interest, just with a little bit of volatility up here. So watch for that. Okay, but yeah, all looking good in the hood. I don't think there's any reason to close these longs yet. If you are long from lower, okay, just manage those positions. If you're a sharpshooting perpetuals trader on 1000x leverage, just still be cautious with your altcoins. Maybe Bitcoin takes over in the coming 48 hours and pushes up. Okay, all right, guys. So look, if you are wanting a little bit more further education, of course, we do have lots of free stuff in here. We've got the docs pages, we've got our courses here, still very relevant. Okay, risk reward course, order book overlay course from DK there as well. We've got the video section. Okay, so free video section here as well with all my templates and how I use them. Okay, and then we've got Bennett's videos there, still very relevant to this day. If you need a little bit more in-depth analysis on how I trade the market, okay, we do still have the Art of Data-Driven Market Analysis course, 1 hour 24-minute video in there, and access to the private Discord as well, where I do share a little bit more insight and a little bit more about my, you know, workings and trade setups day to day. Okay, so stick with us. We'll do a live session this week, potentially tomorrow. Might do a live session tomorrow. Still on a little bit of a summer break myself, to be honest. So in and out of the desk. Don't touch those spot positions too much. We need to see some really heavy spot supply before we really come out of those spot positions, and I'm not quite seeing it yet. All right, guys. So hit notifications. Drop us a comment below. Okay. For anything that you need to see in future, you know, maybe we'll go over a few altcoins in the next live session. But yeah, drop a comment, share the video, share the alpha. Speak soon, guys. Cheers.
I bet your margins are pretty nice and fat.
Let's not talk about my margins, by the way. Being nice and fat, that's a nice shirt. Do they make it for men?
And we say bye-bye.